Today, I'll be walking you through how to decorate a beautiful, vibrant butterfly cookie. I'm using the Anne Clark butterfly shape, but you can use any butterfly shape you have. Make sure cookies are fully cool before decorating. Prepare royal icing in the following colors and consistencies: purple outline and flood consistencies, and light pink flood consistency. For more information about royal icing, including recipes and consistencies guide, please visit the link in the video description for my free royal icing recipe guide. If you need a tutorial on how to cut tipless piping bags, I have linked a video tutorial in the video description of this video. Start by outlining the 4 sections of the butterfly wings with the purple outline consistency. We're going to be using a wet on wet technique for this cookie, so we'll work quickly to achieve our design, working each of the 4 sections one at a time. I recommend watching this first section in its entirety before attempting the design yourself. Using the purple flood consistency, flood the entire section. Be conservative with the amount of icing you flood the cookie with, as we're going to add more icing while this flood base is still wet, and we want to avoid adding too much of the purple so we don't have accidental overflow. Wet on wet designs require us to work quickly before the icing starts to crust over, so while the purple is still wet, immediately go in with the light pink flood consistency icing and pipe a thick line across the middle of the wing, and then 3 dots of icing in the top corner. Grab your scribe tool or toothpick and carefully drag it through the line of the pink icing, starting from the top and moving toward the body of the butterfly. Repeat this dragging motion across the line 6 to 8 times to create your pattern. Repeat this design for the opposite wing. Try your best to mirror the design you created on the right, but don't worry if it's not exact. Nature isn't perfect and neither are you. I have learned to let go of perfection, particularly when it comes to wet on wet designs, because you can't always control how the icing moves. So many factors go into the movement of the icing, and it takes a lot of practice. So be patient with the process, and if you mess up, scrape the icing off and start over. We're going to let this icing dry for about 20 to 30 minutes before moving on to the bottom sections. Once those top sections have crusted over, we can move on to the bottom wings. Repeat the same design on the bottom wings. We're going to allow these sections to dry for 20 to 30 minutes before moving on to our final section. And while we do, a quick note about royal icing drying best practices. Royal icing is amazing for decorated cookies because it fully dries within 24 to 48 hours. Environmental factors like humidity and airflow will affect the dry time, hence the wide range. In the winter, my icing dries really fast because it's cold and dry. In the summer, when it's very humid, the extra moisture in the air means that it will take longer for the icing to fully dry. Sometimes I run a dehumidifier in my cookie room to ensure that my icing fully dries in time for packaging, but I always, no matter the season, dry my cookies in front of a table fan. The airflow and circulation are key for icing drying evenly and giving the icing a nice sheen. When in doubt, wait a full 24 hours before packaging, ensuring that your icing is dry and your design will stay intact. Once those bottom wings have crusted over, we can move on to our final step, the body of the butterfly. I'm going to recommend that you use the purple outline consistency for this section because the area is so small and we want the icing to hold up against cratering and appear puffy like the body of a butterfly. Now you may be asking yourself, what is cratering? Cratering in the icing often occurs when flooding small areas of a cookie. It happens when craters, aka holes, or sinking in the icing occurs as the outer edge of the icing dries rapidly, causing the middle to sink before it has a chance to dry. It happens to the best of us, but we can reduce the likelihood of cratering here by using a thicker icing consistency which takes longer to dry. You'll need to pipe a healthy amount of icing for the head and the body of the butterfly, and use your scribe tool or toothpick to smooth out and settle the icing. Wait 5 to 10 minutes before piping the body to ensure there's definition between the sections. And there you have it. I hope you found this video tutorial helpful and it inspired you to dive into the art of cookie decorating. Subscribe for more decorating tutorials and don't forget to grab your free copy of my royal icing recipe guide. See you next time.